Hi Capricorn, welcome to your August reading. I'm going to shuffle on camera so you can see the cards fall down. It's a throwback to what I used to do when I first started the channel. I hope you like it. I've done it with the Scorpio reading and I just did the Sag reading and I really like it too. Before we get started, let me just fill you in on the astrology of the month. It's really important for you to collaborate and not push. You can repair relationships, you can start new businesses, you can repair a business relationship that you feel is becoming awkward or you feel at odds with someone. All of that is possible, but only if you take yourself out of the race. You know, when you have that energy of needing to push forward no matter what, needing to get it done, that energy most oftentimes works for you. But this month, it puts people off. It makes people want to they want to be contrary. They don't want to give you what you want when you behave that way. So we're just going to beat them to the punch. We're not going to act that way at all. And then they won't have any excuse but to give you what you want. So the goal is the same. You get what you want. But now we're doing it with a bit more delicacy. Your natural finesse is still there. You're still on top of things, but the repairing of an emotional relationship, the smoothing out of a financial relationship, the starting of a new business, the dealing or mitigating your own stress and the pressure you feel mainly from yourself, all of that can be solved by just not pushing, by explaining it somehow to yourself that you have to sit and rest. And when you do push forward with something, you do it very calmly, you do it quietly, and you do it more than anything else, softly. That's the word I want you to stay with, softly. And that's not the easiest thing for you. Goats are known to be extremely ornery, contrary, and pushy. So yes, it's a bit of a stretch, but when you look at what's going on in your what's been going on in your 7th and 8th house, and now everything shifts, you will realize that as you look at the cards, you'll realize that there's so much to be repaired. There's so much to be healed. There's so much that you would now like to settle into and make permanent. So to do it slowly and softly is the way to ensure that it's stable and it stays, which obviously is what you want. Good, let's look at these cards. Love you. All right, here we go, Cap. Let's see what comes up for August. I kind of like doing the astrology separate from the tarot. Let's see how this works out. We can always go back to the older way of doing things if you like, but I think there's something magical about watching the cards fall. Yes, there you are. 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. Yes, you feel good. You want things to move fast, 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 fast. Yeah, we know. You want it done. Once you decide you want to settle down, you want it done. You're like, okay, who's the best prospect around? That one. That's the one I'm going to take. If it's a business, you're like, okay, let's move forward. I need a raise, or I need a bigger piece of this pie, or I'm going to start my own thing, or my employees need to listen to me. Fast, 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 fast. That's how you want to do things because that's how you feel and that's how you are. And in August, to behave that way can be a very big mistake because you can end up doing everything halfway and then nothing comes to fruition in September, and it's even more frustrating than not having done it, right? The important thing about the 9 of Pentacles is that you're already feeling really good. We want to keep that in mind. We don't need to push as if nothing is going well and we're miserable and that's why we need to make something happen. You want to make things happen. You feel like making things happen, and that's great. You should, but we want to keep this in mind that we're already feeling good, that we already have a lot, thank God, of what we want, right? So It's okay, even though you feel like going fast, fast, fast. And so does Sagittarius, by the way. It's okay that even though you feel that way, that you don't do it. Now, let's see what else comes up. Now, in terms of money, things start to move, but after August 22nd. The seeds you have planted will bloom, says the Seven of Pentacles, but you need to wait. Wait until the end of the month, the last third of the month, to start expecting things. If you try to push and rush it before then, you cannot rush something to bloom, right? But if you wait, even more opportunities show up. That's the funny thing. If you wait, you get so much more of what you want. If you have a air sign in your life, you may be feeling like that relationship needs to undergo a rebirth or a restructuring. If you have a Scorpio in your life, you may feel like the communication has been so difficult lately, because Scorpios are going through it, that you don't even want to try anymore. If you are dealing with a Pisces specifically, they have a lot to offer you and they feel like they're 100% in love already. But I still need you to wait, because everything is not exactly how it seems. Okay, that's the other reason we want to wait. We want all our emotions, our ambitions to be processed and to be safe when we move. We want our motivations to be safe and vetted before we move on them. There's a lot about your romantic life that still has to come to light. You don't have all the facts, and getting into something serious with someone when you don't have all the facts is misery. So we want to stay away from it. Everything about this says don't rush. That may be a theme for you for the past couple of months, and that's okay. That's okay, because you're going through a restructuring. Look at all the planets you have in your sign right now, and look at what they're doing. Of course you're being restructured. Even Saturn came back around to be like, I left the house for a minute. Did you screw it up? Let me come and see again. Right? So we want to take it slow. And let's talk more about finance when I turn the camera around and you can see the cards the right way around. Love you. I'll be right back. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to the third part of your reading. I like this. It's like we added a new segment. So we get to have a conversation. You get to see the cards fall, and then we look at them from different aspects. So in terms of money, the Nine of Pentacles is telling you that you do have everything you need to be very, very successful right now. You're basically there. Eight of Wands, and whatever is lacking is quickly becoming whole. Seven of Pentacles, there's just a bit of a nature delay. You know that thing about how you can't make a flower bloom? It's just that little bit of time that the material world takes to give up its abundance to you. It happens with everyone, and usually you are a lot more patient, but I think behind this reading and behind this spread, you are exhibiting a little bit of fear. And let me tell you what kind of fear I mean, and please forgive me for now quoting one of my favorite films. In Point Break, the ex-presidents, they dress up like Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter and LBJ and blah, 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 wearing these masks and these suits. They rob banks. And the reason they always get away with it is because they're in and out of the banks in 90 seconds. They never go for the vault. And they've been able to successfully rob, I don't know how many banks over like 5 years or something, without any trace of them and anyone knowing who they are. when that same group of bank robbers becomes compromised and the police and the FBI know who they are, they do one last job. And instead of grabbing the cash like they always do and running out in and out in 90 seconds, they, or the one dressed as Reagan, the leader of the group, decides that they should go to the vault. And it is that mistake that gets half of them killed and ultimately, well, all of them except one killed, and then ultimately he's later arrested years later. Not that you needed to know that part, but, excuse me. You've got no reason to run to the vault. That fear that you may be feeling underneath all of this is just a lot of really powerful energy, very, very close to the earth, because that's what a retrograde is. That planet comes closer. The energy is stronger, and it's right on top of you. So if you're feeling any sort of dread, it's because there is a lot of pressure being put on you. But don't let that pressure turn to fear, turn to let's hit the vault. What I mean is, don't stop doing things at your cool and collected pace just because you're maybe a little bit afraid. Don't let it compromise you, and then you lose the thing that makes you successful. Stick closely to your process and your timing. Honor that. Because Mars in Aries, it wants us to foolishly rush. And yes, even you are affected by it. So, all of that to say, the Seven of Pentacles, you need to let these projects, let these ambitions, let them bloom. You've done everything you needed to do. You've added all the right energy. The thing is in motion. Now let it cook. Ace of Wands, what you get for that patience and that resolve is even more opportunities. Probably off the back of what's happening here, and will probably explain to you why that needed to move so slowly in the first place. Page of Swords, Scorpio. On an abstract level, when it comes to finance, you are having a conversation with yourself about what it looks like long-term for you. Do you need a rebranding? Do you need a rebirth? Do you need to wipe the slate clean in terms of whatever it is that fits into helping you do what you do for a living, whether it's your image or your wardrobe or whatever it is? You're looking at everything and you're really considering on a deep level a rebrand in how you appear to the outside world. And that's okay. Better to do it now than to wait until closer to your birthday and then feel like, if you start doing it now, what I mean is, if you start doing it now, by the time you get to your birthday and this actually kind of hits you and you want to be different, you'll already be on your way. And then the Moon, the King of Cups, and the Six of Cups. If you are determined to get into business with somebody and you feel like you know everything there is to know, I would say, okay, but I don't think you can trust that unless you can verify it. And if you can't verify it, you should maybe hold off on it. It's very complicated, Capricorn, when there's friends and family involved. Very complicated. And yet,
You can't just do things because you feel like you owe people. Now, again, remember, we're talking about just finance right now. You can't do things just because you feel like you owe people. You can do lots of other things, or you can just pay them back what you think you owe them. But you don't have to compromise your trajectory, your career, your financial standing, your reputation to pay somebody back for something. Okay? Good. That should about cover it. We're doing the extendeds in a new way too. It's been super fun. We shuffled through for each card, clarify it, move along, and we're done. I thought it would make the extendeds shorter, which I wasn't happy about, but I just thought it would. In fact, it's made the extendeds longer, which is a welcome surprise. So more time with you. The links to those extendeds are below. If you like the t-shirt, several of you have DM'd me and asked about the t-shirt. The t-shirt is it's merchandise through Teespring. There should be a scrolling ledge below the video with the products going by. If you cannot find it, or the face masks or the rest of it, when you get to this, when you follow the link and you go to the store, just hit on all products and that should help you out. If you have been admiring the rings, they are part of our Quietest Revolution rings collection. This is the High Priestess made of African amethyst, and this is the World. This is not out yet. And there is a green version, which is called the Empress. If you have gone to the website and you have seen that there are no photos of the actual rings, I suggest you check out Quietest Revolution rings on Instagram, and you will see loads and loads of photos, and I will link that below as well. If you're interested in a private recorded reading sent to you, there's a link below through Cameo, and also you can do 10-minute Zoom calls. If you would rather have a one-on-one 15-minute reading over, it's not Zoom, it's an app called Chatalize, that link is below as well. And then if you're interested in a daily horoscope based on the daily chart read, that is available at the Quietest Revolution on Insta. Did I cover it? Did I do it? Did I get it all? Good. Remember what I said about being scared. All right, I'll see you in the extended right now. Bye.